your success in one attempt. All right, so that's all about IELTS. Let's now go into the next phase. Okay, now let's look at essay writing. Essay writing is a formal writing. Is a formal writing. In your essay writing, IELTS expects you to show off spontaneity, creativity, and correct spellings. Spontaneity, creativity, and correct spellings. They are very key in essay writing. But these three things I've mentioned, they guarantee that your spontaneity, your creativity, and correct spellings will work out for you is your ability to interpret the question that you've been asked. Once you misinterpret a question, Yoruba says Otilo, it is gone. All right? So whatever you are writing will be sounding bala blue to the examiner. They understand that you are speaking from the Bulaba kingdom. So they won't be able to read meaning into what you're saying. Now, in essay writing, please, can I get mic? I want to ask Madam a couple of questions. Thank you. I'm supposed to have editing in this class, right? Okay, Madam. In essay writing, how long does it last? How much time do we spend writing essay? That which task is essay? Task 2. And we spend how long? 40 minutes. Final answer? Final answer. How many words minimum do you write in essay? What's the minimum number of words? 250? Sure? Thank you. Your task 1, I'm being specific now. Your task 1 is called what? Your task 1, essay, letter writing. You are getting IELTS confused. Even IELTS is becoming confused. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, before I go, I'll hold the mic for you. How much time do you spend on that essay letter writing? How much time do you spend, ma?
No, sorry, 20 minutes.
Oh, bala blue everywhere. Please let me reduce the confusion. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. But don't worry, just relax. Just be coming down. IELTS is a very simple exam. Okay, Mr. Emeka, your task 1 is called what?
Report writing.
Your task 1 is called report writing? That's incorrect. Your task one lasts for how long?
For 20 minutes.
Final answer?
20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Yes.
What's the minimum number of words you're required to write? Final answer?
Yes.
Okay. All correct. Your task one is called report writing. So the report writing question could be any of those ones, right? Your task one is called what? Letter writing. Just letter. Just letter. Essay is different from letter. Thank you. All right, so let's proceed. In essay writing, I told you is a formal writing, right? Now, there are things you should do and things you should avoid. But first and foremost, let's establish something. The day you had your mock test, you listened to an audio while treating your listening test, right? And you both had the same question. Is that correct? At the end of the listening test, someone came up here, maybe or may not, and called out answers. Normally, don't worry. Let's assume I come up here to call answers. Now I'm calling the answers, and I expect that both of you should either get the answers correctly or wrong, right? Reading. When you're done with your reading, someone can come up here and call out the reading answers for you to mark. Is that correct? I'm calling the person will be calling the answers because it is established that the answers are just the same, right? So this means in listening test as well as reading, the answers are fixed. If you read carefully and he reads carefully, you both get the same answer, right? The same thing applies to listening. When you listen attentively and carefully and he does the same, you both get the same answer. Is that correct? But in writing tests, it is not the same. I may give the two of you the same question, but you write them in totally different ways. First, the way you will interpret the question will be different from his. Your choice of words to respond to the question will be totally different from hers. So there will be a total different words and perspectives, but you are both writing to arrive at the same answer, right? To solve the same question. Now in IELTS, because of these different sides, now in IELTS, because of the discrepancies, because of the difference in perspectives and interpretations, and in dictions too, IELTS decided to come up with some yardsticks to evaluate the different tables answers. Okay, so let's look at some of these yardsticks. Okay, what we have there as yardsticks to evaluate essays are task achievement, task cohesion and coherence, lexical resources, and grammatical range and accuracies. Okay? Now let's begin. What does task achievement entail? What does it mean? Task achievement has to do with your ability to completely respond to questions following the standard templates. Your ability to completely respond to questions following the standard template. So, when you are given your essay question, you need to understand that to solve that essay question, there is a template. And that template is standard. We're going to get to that level. So you are required to solve that essay question following the standard template. Okay, that's when you are able to achieve the task. And also, solving the question or attempting the question, you should ensure that you follow the instruction, the laid down or stipulated instruction. Don't forget that, right? Then task cohesion. Task cohesion has to do with your ability to understand the question. Your ability to understand the question. Don't forget. When you are given a question, once you read it, ensure you interpret the question correctly. Do not misinterpret, because if you do that, that's the beginning of failure. Because everything you'd write, the whole effort and all that will be dashed. Then your task coherence, meaning your ability to stick to the question, to write in accordance or in consonance with what is stipulated in instruction, right? So you are answering or attempting the question or questions, and you are following strictly what is stipulated for you to follow. Please, do you understand this? Now let's go to lexical resources. Your lexical resources in IELTS is very important. What does that mean? Vocabularies, right? So you are meant to show off advanced vocabularies when you are treating any IELTS essay question, as well as your report writing. There are words we call academic words in report writing. But for essay, show off advanced vocabularies. How do you get your vocabularies? How do you build your vocabulary bank? You can use Google. You can use Google to build your vocabulary bank. What do? Go to Google and type list of vocabularies for writing essays on agriculture, list of vocabularies for writing essays on education, transport, global warming, climate change, economy, insecurity, transportation. Just type, ask Google. You would get the list of vocabularies. But when you get this list of vocabularies, try and build their synonyms. Get their synonyms as well. And when you get their synonyms, practice to master their applications both in the written English and in the spoken English. Master the applications both in the written English and in the spoken English, because they are two different things. Don't forget. Then let's look at the last yardstick here, which is grammatical range and accuracies. Grammatical range and accuracies. What does this mean? IELTS expects you to show off more advanced sentence structure. IELTS says, don't give us short sentences. You can do better than that. Giving short sentences does not show that you are a right candidate for us. So do more of building compound and complex sentences. Do you understand this? Build more of compound and complex sentences. Right? So how do you do that? Let me give you an instance. Okay, now look at this information on the board. How many sentences do we have there? Madam, how many sentences can you see? 5 sentences? How many? 3 sentences? Madam, 5, right? What makes a sentence?
Is the sentence is the meaning of whether the word, the group of words that make it,
What indicates that this is a sentence?
comma, and full stop.
No. What indicates that something is a sentence is just full stop, not comma. So if you look at this information on the board, how many full stops do we have? 5 full stops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there are how many sentences? 5 sentences. Now in IELTS, this is not good enough. This is not good enough. They are short sentences. IELTS expects you to build compound sentences. In other words, the whole of these 5 sentences can be merged to become one sentence. Please, do you understand this? Okay, so let's try. Ladies first, madam, please construct the whole 5 sentences to become one sentence. You can personalize it.
My name is Ben. Private student young man. I live in UK. I like traveling. I like traveling and eating.
Could you please take that again?
My name, my name is Ben. I'm private intelligent young man. I live in UK. I like traveling and eating.
The information on the board does not indicate where you live. It rather indicates your place of origin. I come
I
from.
come from UK and I travel a lot. Or I come from UK and I travel a lot. And I like looking for making.
I think you've made 2 sentences out of everything. Out of everything. I one.
It's just
Okay, you make a sentence.
no.
Madam. So it's important we master the skill of composing compound and complex sentence. It's simple, don't worry. by the time by the time he comes now, he's delaying our time. So we're running out of time.
I am joy,
Uh-huh.
vibrant, intelligent, intelligent. I can move take away some work.
You can take away, but you're meant to capture the main ideas there, basically. There's a way you can make them shorter, fine. There's a way you can, but you are expected to retain the primary information there.
Vibrant, intelligent, and young lady. Come from UK, like traveling, make friends.
Still two sentences.
Please come around and put more.
Okay, okay, it's okay, okay. Um, okay, if it is comma you are putting, there is somewhere. No, the end part has full stop already. So I believe the full stop appears there too. Okay, now let's look at something. While since we can't continue to wait for him. My name is Ben, or I am Ben, a vibrant, intelligent young man who hail from New York, love traveling, and also making friends. Do you understand the flow? It's just to build it. My name is Ben, a vibrant and intelligent young man who hail from New York, love traveling, and also making or enjoy making friends. Simple, right? That's the way to build. So all of that appears to be just one sentence, right? So that's what IELTS expect when we talk about grammatical range. So they want to see what type of sentences you make, all right? They want to see you make sentences that are longer, longer, and convey different ideas in it. So you have, like in this sentence, we have five different information but merged in one, right? So that's what IELTS is looking out for. And you should try as much as possible to develop that skill of building nice range of sentence. Now, accuracy. Accuracies. IELTS also want to see the accuracy of the sentence you are making. While you are making a lengthy sentence, IELTS wants to see that the sentence comes out accurately. Do you understand? So it's important you identify subjects in your sentence. Identify the subjects in your sentence so that it will help you to maintain accuracy. And some sentences may be referring to things that have happened in the past, right? So when you're making such sentence or passing such information, you are expected to use past tenses, right? And when you're making passing such information using past tenses, you also must acknowledge the subject. For instance, if you are referring to more than one person at some point in the past, what do you make use of? What pronoun do you use when you are referring to more than one person in the past? What pronoun do we use? You are not part of it. You are not part of them. He said we, and I said he shouldn't. Aha, they. Do you understand? That's the pronoun you use. Now, when you use they and you want to talk about something that happened with them or something you saw them doing when you came or when you got there, what do you say? You say they were. Do you understand this? So you are referring to past tense, acknowledging the subject, because where is a past tense that captures plural. If it was he, what will you say? He was, because was is for singular past, and he refers to one person. Do you understand the accuracy IELTS is looking for? So in your sentences, ensure you maintain accuracies. Very important, right? Okay, let's begin. These are the do's and don'ts in IELTS. So what are these information all about? First, you are strongly advised to avoid the use of informal words and expressions. Avoid the use of informal words and expressions. Let's look at what are some of the examples of informal words you should avoid. Okay, now here let's look at some examples of informal words. So what are these informal words that you should avoid? First, on the list we have help. The word help is informal. So IELTS says we need more advanced words. So what advanced words can you bring in to substitute help? Assist, right? Support, aid, right? So you are expected to show off more advanced words rather than bringing in these guys. Okay? Secondly, we have kids. What does kids mean? Children, fine. That's what we call kids. But you know he's wrong and informal. Kids, no, not IELTS. In the real,
It's more like you know the person you're talking about.
no, apart from that,
Okay.
kids is the formal word for baby goats.
Yeah,
Goat.
it's true, it's true.
So if you call your child my kid, you are saying your baby goat.
I never really did that way. Now you're making it.
So It's just an informal expression that we use casually to refer to children.
Yeah.
But formally, it's for baby goods. Then infants. Infants is highly ambiguous. It means a lot of things. It's a formal word for baby monkey. It's a formal word for baby ape. It's a formal word for young recruits in the military. Right? Then for children, it's informally used to categorize children between 0 to maybe 5, right? So IELTS says just give us the formal word children or child. If you want to refer to kids, give us, as long as you're referring to humans, tell us about your child or children, not kids. Then the next one is offspring. Which offspring are you referring to? Is it offspring of a plant or offspring of an animal? So IELTS says just be very specific. Give us the formal word, child or children, right? Then the next one here is words. You go to schools, they write letters to you, you see your child / word, right? That's informal. And that's very ambiguous as well, because words can be found in a hospital, words can be in a prison, words can be at the local government, right? So why do you use a word that you're telling the examiner to choose any meaning you want to read? Anyone? I would say be very specific, right?
So what would you like hospital word?
Aha, you are specific now to a particular department that is meant for a particular set of patients. Children's wards, emergency wards, this and that, right? Now let's go to the next one, which is the abbreviations. What does abbreviation mean? Shortening something, right? A lot of people are used to this. How do you write September? You see, they write set and put full stop, right? Do you know what you have written? It's not an English word. You have written French. This means 7. Right? A lot of informal attitudes that we have built over time, we don't even know. So IELTS says, when you write this, you've not written even an English word, you've spelled French. So every word you are to write in IELTS must be spelled in full. Don't give any abbreviation. Then we have shorthands. This is even the worst, because people are so engrossed in shorthands during chats. You want to write FOR, you write what number 4. You want to write TO, you write number 2, right? You want to write before, you write B/4, before. You want to write because, you're writing COS, because, right? We're so engrossed. So IELTS is saying, please don't do that. We don't know you. Address us in a formal writing. Do you understand? So everything you're writing in essay should be written in full. Don't fail to do this. Because when you write these informal expressions, you're losing mark. They keep circling your essays. And the more they circle, the more you lose mark. All right? Now, next, let's go to acronyms. Acronyms. What are acronyms? Acronyms are concepts or names formed by using the first initial of the original full name. Do you understand this? Acronyms are names or concepts or ideas formed by using the first letters or initials of the full meaning. For instance, IELTS is an acronym because we took I from international, E from English, L from language, T from testing, S from system. So that has given us the acronym IELTS. So IELTS says, avoid using acronyms except in a situation where you have written the full meaning in a previous sentence. So because you have written it in the other sentence, you don't want to repeat the same full name. You now use the acronym. It makes sense. The person would know that that's what it means. And then for you to build that understanding when you're writing your essay, because IELTS is a deliberate exam, you have to do it intentionally. So for you to build that understanding to the examiner, when you write International English Language Testing System in bracket, IELTS. So that when next you want to write it, don't put it in bracket. So when the examiner sees it, the examiner knows you have written the full meaning initially. Do you understand this? Then the use of very, IELTS says avoid it. Avoid it. The use of that word, very this, very that. It means you don't have in-depth understanding and good command of the language. Because for you to say she's very big, IELTS says, why don't you tell her that she's a giant? Do you understand this? She's very beautiful. I've never seen such beauty. Very beautiful. IELTS says, just tell her that she's gorgeous. She's stunning. Nigerians will say she's looking taken away. Do you understand? When you are very tired, IELTS says, tell us I'm exhausted. Mom, I'm very hungry. Shh. Say I'm famished. So be careful when to use words and speaking. How may I help? That's rude. That's rude. Hi, this is Mr. Ben speaking. That's official. So avoid it. Onto my truck. That's official. Not that's African. That's Nigeria. So please avoid that words. Do we know Honorable Patrick Obayagbo? Honorable Patrick, the man that speaks heavy gaga. The man says avoid such words because you're not communicating. The person and political higi haga brouhaha. They don't know any of those things. Huh? Yes, but he's not communicating. The words he's using are actually meaningful, not original English words. Do you understand? But for communication's sake, use words that the person you are speaking to can understand. That's when communication has taken place. So IELTS says avoid ambiguous saying or communicating. Then it also says avoid turgid words. So ambiguous words are those words that have multiple meanings, right? Huh? Like offspring, yeah, it could mean of plants. Words could mean hospital. That's an ambiguous word. Then turgid words are the ones or words of Honorable Patrick. The heavy, high-sounding words. They are turgid words. Okay. Then IELTS detests repetitions. Avoid them all. That's why I said build vocabularies. When we learned about lexical resources, build vocabularies is because so you need to build that. And I've told you how to build your vocabularies, right? Go to Google and begin to build on all of that. Then correct spellings. Correct spellings. Like I said, never do abbreviations, right? Spell every word in full, and the word has to be correctly spelled because it counts. Then make use of advanced words. Instead of saying help, use support, use aid, use assistance or assistant. That's advanced. Instead of saying my father, my mother will be embarking on it. Do you understand? It's advanced way. That's what like the one we built about vibrant and all that. Those are advanced expressions. So make use of such expressions. And tomorrow or on Wednesday, no, Friday, we shall continue from advanced expressions, hopefully. And then we go into the essay proper by God's grace. If you have been given materials, please go and start working on your listening test. Start practicing. Start getting used to how it works.
Sorry, this person, like the one who wrote so I know. I don't really understand what they were saying. But because I can't get capture or
At that time.
grab, you know. But the one they will write something, and then expecting you to